Back a few years ago, we used to play around a little bit, go out, get something to eat. We used to come back to the studio, hit up 2 songs, release it, and do the same thing over and over and over again. Here I am, but I still got such a long way to go.
Budweiser. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Danica Patrick. 2007, Jay-Z had just released his "Show Me What You Got" video, and he did a video. He teamed up with Budweiser to do a video where he was racing Dale Earnhardt Jr. is a NASCAR driver, and Danica Patrick is also a NASCAR driver. And in the video, they get into nice cars to Monaco, and let's see. Jay-Z gets in the car, looks over at Dale Earnhardt, and both of them look over at Danica, who's in a different car, and then he says, "Show me what you got." And after that, the cars start. They race all throughout Monaco. Jay-Z gets off the cars, gets on a boat. There's like 12 women in the boat. He's swerving in the boat, and then he gets off the boat with a suitcase with money. He gets off the boat. A lot of dancing, sits in a chair. He looks into the camera and says, "Show me what you got." And it was that moment. I said, as a small kid, I said, that's who I want to be. That's how I got dressed.
We know the Jay-Z video is where it all started. The Jay-Z commercial, the NASCAR commercial. He said, "Show me what you got." You said, "All right, I'm mad." So then what was your next step in music? What were you trying to...
Next step was, that's a good question. Next step, the crazy thing is when I saw that commercial, I wanted to be like Jay-Z and have all that, but I didn't know where to start. So I went to school and I told all my friends that I was into rap music and that was just like the biggest thing, and I was gonna be like a rap artist. But for like, let's see, 2 years after that, I didn't record anything, didn't do anything, just spoke a super big game, had a super big head about myself. And then finally, when I had moved schools from New York to Maryland, in 2009, I started to write lyrics, and I just wrote for 2 years, and then, but I hadn't recorded it. And then finally I switched schools again, and to a different school in DC. And I remember one night, it was my birthday, and I had invited my buddy Ellie over for my birthday, and he had a little box in his hand, and I said, "What's that?" "You're gonna have to get me a present." And he said, "Just open it." I opened it. It was a microphone. And I said, "Oh my God." And this was like, I had wanted to record stuff, but I didn't know how to record stuff. I didn't know how to get with the quality. I'd written a bunch of crap, and I said, I was like so grateful to Ellie. And I'd spent, a year after that just perfecting myself.
I know you said it.
And then 3 years to 4 years after that, I made a total of 8 to 9 albums. I spent my senior year of high school marketing myself, not making music. And
So from then up until right now, what are you doing?
So I was lucky enough I had already had a SoundCloud account and a Facebook. And my Facebook, my music wasn't going anywhere. I was releasing all these albums, and I was getting like 30 views on it, like 30 plays on each album. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna release another one of these freaking albums without just 30 people. Like, big things need to start happening. So I thought about what I was missing out on, and I said, oh my God, why don't I have a Twitter account? I'm not really on the Instagram wave, but why don't I have a Twitter account? Why have I been sleeping on Twitter where the account is controlled by the artist? And unlike Facebook where the account is controlled by the manager. And I was like, I felt like a total idiot because I could have connected with all these artists one-on-one on Twitter, and I had made a Twitter, and you know, through luck, within, I don't know, like 2-3 months, immediately I got picked up by low-key management. My latest album got, I don't know, 100K plays on SoundCloud, and they hooked me up with the video. I left them, and ever since I left them, I waited like a month or so, and then one day I saw on Twitter like this person who would later be my manager's wife. She said, submit music to this email, like, you know, we're interested in managing artists. And I said, okay, it's worth a try. You know, they're a pretty big management company. I mean, my career is not really going anywhere. I had that one big album, but things need to get bigger. So I submitted my music. Within the next night, she emailed me back and said, we're really interested in you, investing in us, doing business with you. And for about a month, I did at least 100 to 200 emails back and forth with this lady. And one night she said, okay, I'm gonna hook you up with, you know, my husband. I'm gonna hook you up with this guy. And I said, okay, how's this gonna go down? She said, he's gonna call you soon. So I was sitting on my couch. I said, I'm probably not gonna get, like, this is probably not gonna work. So I pick up the phone. He's on the other end. He asked me a bunch of questions. And he's saying stuff. He's saying the pros and the cons of who I am as an artist. And I said, okay, he's not interested in who I am. He just called me to tell me that my music is good. That's it. And then at the end of the call, he said, okay, this is what's gonna happen. Next Monday, we're gonna come down to Manhattan. Meet us in the studio. If we like you, you can become a client of ours. That's exactly what happened. I skipped school next Monday, went down, made a deal. Rest is history. Saga. Highlight of my career was getting with the management who I just said I had gotten with. That changed things that kind of been underground for me, and they still kind of are underground, but we are always planning the biggest thing, even if, you know, we're always like, I was in the studio, showed my manager my next album, and he's like, which artist you want to play? He's like, yeah, which artist you want to feature? I'm like, okay, and I said an artist, and then it's like, you have that power to get whoever you want on my song. So it's just a bunch of that, like big features coming up, big, everything is bigger, everything is more global, everything is something.
Things will be okay, be okay, be okay.
We just hit up Washington Square Park. We're about to go see where I live currently. Yeah, about to get an Uber. Travel in luxury. I didn't even know I was gonna get this Uber. Back in the day, my best buddy used to live here in the village, and I used to come over to his place with his mom, his single mom, who was raised by a single mom. Small little apartment,
small cell apartment, and we used to, you know, we used to hang out. We used to work on music, and I slept at that house many, many nights. You know, that guy, he was actually one of my only friends. I knew some people in passing, but as I grew up, the village was important because that's where he lived. And we are going to where I currently live in Manhattan. It's a nice apartment. It's near Columbus Circle. And yeah, it's different. It's a lot busier. It's only a few blocks away from Times Square, and I used to live on the Upper West Side, and a lot busier. I prefer it to be a little bit more quiet, which is weird because when I go to visit family in Tennessee, I complain about the quiet, but there's a fine line between quiet and too quiet. Yeah, man, it's a trip up, but I only came to the village to see my best bud back in the day and to hang out. Was a pretty relaxed place. Where Locked and Loaded, and this next album is gonna be featuring one of my all-time favorite artists, who I love. And then the album after that is gonna be featuring an even bigger artist. And this is all because of the management that I just joined, and all the amazing opportunities that they've given me. And I work with Ari Admani and Co. Two people, Ari and his wife Melissa, great people. You know, if you don't mean business, if you aren't serious about what you do, then they're not going to work with you. And you know, as I was explaining back outside, like when I got with them, they noticed how hard I had worked on my music, and they saw the quality in my music, and I was recording like, I was recording like dinky basement in my office back in the day, or like my studio / office, you know, and I still made my music sound great. It didn't have to be re-recorded or anything, so they noticed that. And you know, it's been about a year now since I've been with them, and since I go down to Tennessee so much to see family and stuff, things have been a lot slower than I had hoped for, but it's always moving up. It's not moving down. Always doing it. Looks like we're coming up on Chelsea. Is it? I wanted to join a hockey team, and I had been skating with some friends and stuff, and I thought it'd be a good idea. And I told my mom. She said, "Okay, you know, I'll hook you up with this coach. You know, he seems like a good coach. He works at Chelsea Pier." And I went one day, and I got destroyed. Like, this guy worked me, and once the session was over, I said, I'm never coming back here again to do hockey. So I used to go to Chelsea Piers a lot, but that was around like 2008. I was still listening to my radio in my bedroom. That's all I had. I didn't have an iPod or a phone or anything. I just had my radio and whatever the local rap station is here. You know, Black Eyed Peas, Mario, Fantasia was really big on the radio. So I liked her music, but I didn't like purposely make it a point to listen to her music. And Michael Jackson was big. Plies was big. Mario was big. Marquez Houston was big. Fantasia was big. Actually, now that I think of it, a lot of R&B. Yeah, and that's what I grew up listening to, and I was a big Black Eyed Peas fan, and
And they inspired me to even think about maybe taking on music. And then, huge MJ fan. I remember the year I moved from Manhattan to DC, 09, MJ died. I sat next to my radio listening to the special that radio station had on him. Just like mourning and stuff, you know, what everyone else around the freaking country was doing. And it was pretty crazy, because then after that I moved and a lot changed. Actually, now that I think of it, if I had stayed in New York, I probably wouldn't have been doing music, because only my bud, who I had just said, who had given me the microphone, he was living in Maryland. So if I hadn't moved to Maryland, then I don't know who was giving me a microphone. I know how to get a microphone. So I guess everything happens for a reason. Mostly just I remember one year my friend had a birthday party, and they were handing out CDs with the little gift baggies that they give you at the parties. And I remember one year I got these 2 CDs, like Black Eyed Peas CDs, and one was Monkey Business, and one was Elefunk. 2 of my favorite Black Eyed Peas albums. And I listened to those albums so many times until the disc didn't work anymore in the freaking CD player. You could put on any song from any one of those albums, I know it by heart. And those 2 albums really drove me to do, because the Black Eyed Peas, they had singing, rapping, the music videos were on point. They were the, you know, in like the mid 2000s, early 2000s, they were the biggest, you know, before they split. And just idols. Fergie had that kind of Latina thing going on, and I think one other member was from like the Philippines, so they had like a, you know, they tried doing like a kind of a Hispanic thing with their music sometimes. And you know, the whole salsa vibe and the whole with their music. And with that, I didn't choose to do that because I didn't know much about that music. But they did singing, they did rapping, they did the coolest little bridges and hooks in their songs, you know, with the different voices. And it was, a lot of work was put into one of their records, and that's what I tried to, you know, work on. Have the singing, the rapping, a lot of the work was put in, a lot of work and thought is put into my records. And my most recent move, I guess, like, not too long ago, I hooked up with, you know, I needed to do a video. My visuals, I had recorded all these albums, but not enough visuals. I think one video was done a year ago, another video was done shortly after that, and then none. So I told my manager, you know, I was like, listen, we should, you know, do this music video. He says, okay, I'll hook you up with a video, cool crew, everything. And sure enough, I go over to, was it Jersey City? You know, I hook up with you, hook up with, you know, all those guys, Phil, you know, Reed, Phil's friend, Taylor, and that was exciting. I mean, it was a first for me, you know, in a lot of different ways. You know, first video I had an actress in, Kaylee, and that was super exciting. We went to like, I don't know how many locations we went to, like 4 or 5. I mean, it was a fun night, and the video couldn't have come out, you know, any better. And it was
you know, I got a lot of crap for that video, especially for that one scene with Kaylee. For those who don't know, there's a bedroom scene with the actress, and a lot of the people I knew, Matt, oh my God, Matt, you're doing a bedroom scene. Freaking, you know, girl's gonna be on top of you. Well, you know, tell me all these jokes. I had some people who were like, she better not be on, you know. But, you know, I told everyone, you know, it's business. I did my thing. You know, once you guys called cuts, you know, she was off doing her thing, and I think I made a pretty special relationship with, you know, you and Phil and all those people. I wrote Pillow Talking. See, I said I have lots of songs in my arsenal, and you know, it's kind of easy to just pull a song out and release it, but Pillow Talking was one of those songs I'd recorded it like a half year ago maybe, and I don't know, a lot of my music has always been and will always be centered around like girls in my life, true stories, whatnot, things I want to happen with, you know, a specific girl, maybe a hypothetical situation, you know, your typical thing. And I wrote the song back when I was living in my old place in DC, and you know, I mentioned the suburbs and how quiet it is, and you know how great it would be for, you know, I said I was talking to, you know, hypothetical girl, probably my girlfriend at the time, and you know, I guess it was really a song for her too, and it's just, there's a lot of sexual innuendos in that song, and there's a lot of you know, I mean, the song is called Pillow Talking, so, but I wrote that song originally because I had heard a beat from one of my favorite producers, Nate Rhodes. You know, I go on his site all the time to listen to these beats, and one day I was going through his catalog, yeah, and I was like, you know, this song is like, and the synth and the plucking synth and the chorus, and it just emulated I can't even describe it. It was just it embodied me as a person. That's why this song is timeless for me. This song will always be timeless. And I said I have to write over that song. So you know, I bought the exclusive rights to whatever I needed to do with like the beat, and I recorded it. I had wrote to it and I recorded to it, and I didn't know that it was gonna be one of my best songs. Like, I also made it a point to push that song hard in terms of promotion, and I always wanted to do a video for it. When we were originally deciding what song should be on that album, which is already out when I was a younger boy, my manager was like, you shouldn't, like, maybe take this one out, and I was like, no, like, I respect what you're saying, we should probably leave it in. I don't really know how exactly the exchange went down, but it was like, you should leave it in. I said I should leave it in. We left it in. Needed to do a video for it as soon as possible. I was thinking about doing some kind of half-assed video for it that wouldn't really capture, but you know, as I said, with all the stuff that happened with the video and the actress, it was all I needed to make that video come to life, and everything worked out. Everything works out. It's pretty exciting. I don't have to. I've told these stories to numerous people before, and now I don't have to tell these freaking stories to people anymore. With faster 4G LTE speeds all around the country, better connection than Sprint, AT&T. I have AT&T. This makes no sense. I like AT&T. AT&T, I love you. Thank you for good service. Fuck Verizon.
Wow.
I guess I started rapping in 4th grade because I had wrote my first 4-page rap song in 4th grade that I was meaning to perform in a talent show, which I never did. Maybe because I was too scared, or maybe because I was sick that day. I can't remember. Probably was too scared, and never performed that rap. So I guess if you consider, yeah, I was rapping since 4th grade, or writing since 4th grade, and then started recording in 8th grade. So it's 4 years later. It took 4 years. It took 4 years of a lot of, I don't know what I was doing in those 4 years. I was writing some pretty bad stuff, and when I got the microphone, it inspired me to write good stuff, because I knew then I could record the good stuff. You know, I didn't have to. And that was a huge milestone. I spent a year perfecting my sound, and then once I got like pro sound, that's when I started releasing all my albums. You know, 9th through 11th, and then 12th grade I marketed myself. It hasn't been an overnight journey. I guess that's true for everyone. Too much security. Planes can't fly within a whatever radius of this tower now. Hey, this is fine. This is perfect.
Pull over that way, or?
Yeah, pull over that way is fine. Appreciate it. There we are. Central Park is one of the most important parks ever and in my life. I used to come here with the same dude who was back in the village. We used to climb rocks and shit.
T, how long ago did you meet Matt?
Shit, like 2 days. Wait, yesterday, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yesterday?
Yesterday. I got to follow him around. He's a pretty wild dude. He's definitely a unique guy. He's cool. I'm here just to make sure there ain't no drama that pops off or something. You know what I'm saying? Keep everybody straight, make sure there's no issues or, you know.
Nobody's trying to run up with the nut.
Yeah. we got the hold on, I'll whisper to the mic. We got the Tommy tucked right here.
I know you wanted to see this building.
Yeah.
But pretty dope. And you know what? It looks a lot better from the inside than it does on the freaking outside. Alright, we're here at the Owen Court. This is where I currently live. Beautiful building, one of the oldest buildings in Manhattan. Moved here about a year ago. A lot busier on the Upper West Side. I guess we're kind of on the Upper West Side. Not really, but it's definitely nice having Times Square here. It's nice having food all around. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty chill. Would you record self?
It was like voiceover for a film, but I was like recording it. But like the actual studios themselves are like they have like drums in them and like microphones.
Yeah, it's like the whole
So
9 yards.
yeah.
I was in Jungle City, which is owned by Kanye recorded it. And Pandora, the railroad station, was doing a thing at the studio. So we couldn't have a set. All right, West Side, let's go. This is cozy. What you think, T?
It's okay.
Cooped up.
You're going to Central Park West.
You got it. You got it. Okay. Where I used to live back in the day. So right now we're going to 146 Central Park West. It's the apartment I used to live in. Bono lives on the penthouse suite of this apartment. I'm pretty sure Derek Jeter has an apartment here.
You ever meet them?
Steve Martin, I did meet. He lives here. So some cool people in the building. And no, this is we won't be able to go in because it's been years and they do not recognize me, but we can stand outside and we're going to the place where I used to listen to my radio, the building where it all started. People always used to ask me the cross street and everything when I was a small kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, I don't know what the cross street is. And I still don't know what the cross street is. It's a straight shot. I can see the building actually we're going to from here. It's a straight shot right ahead. The building's called the San Remo. It's a very nice building, 2 towers. I'm gonna have to order Uber XL next time.
I voted Trump.
Oh.
I ain't vote Trump, dog. I'm playing.
I was about to say.
It's hard to know whether people are joking about them because I know so many people.
People that you're like,
actually
really?
did.
Yeah, same.
The thing you gotta understand is that when I'm in Tennessee,
Yeah.
the Confederate flag is all you see. Like, all.
Well, that could be a bar right there.
Nah, that's a little bit. That
Controversial.
Yeah,
song.
that would stir up some beef.
That's what gets the views, right?
Right.
We talked about that though, man. Not all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, we talked about that. T and I already had to talk about that. We're gonna come up with a building soon that John Lennon was actually shot at.
Wow.
Called the Dakota, shot on his balcony. And yeah, that's all I know about the building.
Okay.
And the Imagine Memorial, the famous mosaic memorial in Central Park that says Imagine on it, where everyone puts the flowers for him, is right across the Dakota. And that's where I used to enter Central Park every time I went to Central Park. That out of all the entries in Central, I used to go to that one. I don't know why, but it's coming up. The zoo. I've been to that zoo like 2 times, or once. I miss the busyness. When I used to sleep here, like when I used to live here and go to sleep, all my friends back in, DC or Maryland used to be like, how do you go to bed? Isn't there like honking and cars? And yes, there are cars and there is honking, but if you live in New York, for those of you who live in New York, you know what I'm talking about when I say that shit's like a lullaby. Like, that puts you to sleep. And when I got to Maryland, the quiet crickets and that was creepy for me. But I got used to it. So here's the Dakota right here. It's where John Lennon died. That building.
Oh yeah.
I think it was that balcony, or 1 floor up, 2nd balcony over. No, don't worry about it.
No, I agree with you. Like when I'm back home and it's like super quiet, it's like you can always hear like every little noise. It's like, what's that?
It's weird.
Heartbeat.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's really
It freaks
weird.
me out.
That was my entrance right there into the park. We're passing by the Dakota right now. And we're about to be at the San Remo in literally like 50 seconds. Hey, you can drop us off right here on the right. This is fine.
Out here?
Yeah, right here is perfect. Appreciate it.
Take this rod.
How old do you think he is?
I was just gonna say if you had to guess.
I guess I would say like 20.
Wow, that's a good guess.
Yeah, that's nice though. 22.
Oh, okay. I'm like really bad with telling people's ages, but people think I'm like 29, which is like lovely to hear. But
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
But then I have other people who are like, oh, you're like your
Anytime
age.
the camera's on, I just feel like I need to get all like Tupac and like, yo.
Yo, yeah,
start
do
talking
it up,
some
do it
shit.
up.
Nah, we're not gonna talk on camera. What's in the bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
All right.
Ain't it really your bag though?
No, it is.
Alright. Well, I really don't know what's in the bag.
Stuff for this guy.
This is a good view right here.
For the camera, we'll say it's a gun.
This here is the San Remo. I lived here in elementary school for about a little bit before elementary school, so about 7 years living here, apartment 8F. I lived on the far tower over there, on the right tower, on the 8th floor. Bono lives in this building. I met Steve Martin. Jeter has an apartment here. Alex Rodriguez, I think he lives over here. It's a great building.
Bono lives here.
He does. On the top floor of that tower on the right. And this building is great. In movies, this building was great, especially when I came to Maryland and all my friends who wanted to go to New York were watching movies with New York. This is one of the buildings they always put in the freaking movies, because when you pan over Central Park, the towers are so high, you always see this building in the movies. Ghostbusters was shot here at the top floor. All sorts of cool things. And this is the type of piece that I need. My apartment now, nice, but busy as fuck. So,
Is there a lot of kids in here though? Like when you were young, there's a lot of kids in here?
no, I didn't grow up going trick-or-treating or any of that shit. It was just, I had a little Halloween celebration in my apartment, and that was it. I mean, kids went from floor to floor, but it doesn't, it's not the same.
Yeah. No, it's not the same.
I made great relationships with people all throughout this area, and if you were to go to the doorman right now, they wouldn't know who the F I am, but that's where I live. So, cool building. The whole area is cool. Oh, we got 6 seconds, guys. I used to ride my riding a bike or a skateboard was impossible in Central Park because of all the damn types of pavement they had. I used to ride my skateboard around this building, and I always used to take this. This was the back entrance to the building, the entrance that nobody knew about. There was a fire in this building when I was living here, and the whole basement of this building got destroyed. So did a lot of our things. But I used to ride down that ramp right there. That was always very exciting to me because that's the only hill there was around here. Go down that ramp, go up that ramp, go down that ramp, go up that ramp. That was my, look, he's having fun too. Look at that. There he goes. Okay. Next location, we're about to hit the Patsy's Pizza. This is the pizza store I always went to, always took friends here, always took family here. The one pizza store there. Best pizza in New York. Probably not, but I think it is. Probably been about 7 to 8 years since I've been in this restaurant. Finally put up the sign. Just so good. I don't
Give
know
the
what
cameraman some shine. This Jack.
First time. I don't know what it is about this damn pizza, man.
Yeah, it does look good. Looks even
Hold that for one
better
more
in
second.
person.
Right now, we're gonna go to one of the first Pinkberries that opened in Manhattan. When I was living here, I remember thinking of this crazy new frozen yogurt shop where you put all that Captain Crunch shit on your fucking frozen yogurt. No longer a Pinkberry. It's gone. One of the first Pinkberries in New York, right here. Gone. Sad day. I feel horrible, man. That store right over there, Lenwich, used to be called Lenny's. Favorite sandwich shop in the city. Don't know why they decided to switch that shit to Lenwich. That horrible name. But always used to get some sandwiches from Lenwich or Lenny's. I call it Lenny's. Back in the day. Good hangout spot.
So it's the third night in the house. I never did these confessions before.
Kids,
Keep it clean.
don't do drugs. This is your Uncle Matt saying, don't do drugs.
This is Uncle Terry saying, why drink and drive when you can smoke and fly? Woo. No, that's old school. It's off top. That means I cut my throat because I'm sick of this shit. Spigot, like the flick of the lip, something. I don't know.
What was that?
It's all fun.
All right. That was that a song?
Nah, I just made it up.
Oh, okay. That sounded like a song by Cheddar the Connect called Flick of the Wrist. Yeah, that was.
Look at the flick of the wrist.
We just hit up Patsy's. Used to go there as a small child. Used to go there with friends. Used to go there with family. You know, anybody who was everybody. And we're about to go hit up my elementary school in just a second. But we're waiting on another crew member. So post it up right here. Matt Helfer.
To be honest with you, I don't know what's in the bag. It's not my bag.
Are you sure?
100%.
Are you sure?
100%. I don't know what's in the bag. It is not my bag. I don't even know how I ended up carrying it. Samson, he wouldn't cut his hair because he said God gave him power through his hair. And I feel like dreads, I had dreads like 10 years now.
If someone cut off his dreads, he'd have to kill somebody.
I really would though. I really would have to kill somebody.
We are gonna fit in the camera. That's it. All right, so right now we're going to my elementary school, Cathedral School, St. John the Divine. A lot of good memories in this school. A lot of good music in this school. A lot of good people. A lot of supportive people. A lot of people supported me in the music from this school. So I try to visit as much as I can, but I'm never up this far in Manhattan, so it's gonna be pretty exciting. This is my second day here. Got here the other day. Took a train straight to the studio. Was in the session. Had to do the photo shoot, and then had to go meet up with a friend. And then I was back, and then next morning. World is some pizza, man. That's the meaning of the world. Some pizza, a cigar, and a beer. That's what you need right there. Some advice that I can give up and coming rap artists, especially who come from the background I come from, which is privileged and white. I'd say that as a white rapper, you definitely get your fair share of, you obviously get your fair share of people telling you like, you can't do it, and then they don't look at you seriously when you tell them you do music. It all speaks within the music, so you just gotta keep on working hard, let your work speak for you, and not, don't bother arguing with anybody. Put all 5, 10, 12 fingers into any social media, all social media. Really market yourself, or not to market yourself. Sell your music, put it on SoundCloud. You know, any of the other sites. I get the struggles that I get. It haven't been. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not had to struggle that much, but the struggle that I do go through is the constant, you know, like every artist, like, am I gonna, you know, is this gonna work? Am I gonna make it? Is all the money I'm investing in this actually gonna pay off, or is it gonna run out? Or so there's constant beating on my head, you know, with those questions, but I try to keep cool about it, you know. As long as I'm doing my thing, then as long as people believe in me, then, you know, I'm blessed to be able to travel and, you know, go around the world, go around the States. But ever since I was younger, it's been a lot. Kind of ready to settle down, but I know, you know, things are just starting to get picked up now, so got to keep my head high, do my thing, and you know, hey, right here on the right is fine. This is it. We're here. You got it. So this is my elementary school, Cathedral School, St. John the Divine. This is a religious school. It's funny because I'm not religious. My parents knew I was not religious. Yet it's next to the largest Gothic cathedral in the world, St. John's. To go in every morning, you would have to walk in a ways, and the school was all the way back there. But this was my stopping grounds for school, after school, usually on the weekdays. We would go over there and get something to eat, and yeah, no, this place was extremely special. A lot of the people here motivated me to really pick up music and do music, so check it out. The thing about this area was that we had a safe school, yet the neighborhood was like kind of safe. I remember back in the day, it was like the biggest news in elementary school, especially for an elementary school like this. One of my dudes actually got mugged right at that corner, right over there, for some headphones, and that made school headlines for about 2 weeks because it was so unique. Shit like that would never have happened. And then another dude actually got jumped over there, which is weird. This is the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. You know, I was never religious, but my school made us go to chapel, evensong, like all these religious services that I never really cared about, but I like to sing. See, that was the one thing in these services, we had to sing, and before rapping and anything, I love to sing to these church songs that were just hymns. But yeah, no, lots of stuff goes on at this church. Every year they have, I think I don't know what it was, maybe St. John like the animals, but every year they have like the tigers and the lions coming up on Animal Day or whatever, coming right up in the church. They bless the animals. So I guess that's kind of cool. I did a little work in that, looks like there's an issue there now, but in that retirement home, I did a little something there for a while. And yeah, no, this whole block, all the way down there, all the way back here, lots of stuff happens. There's a lot of memories here, so pretty interesting.
But for now, just put your head in my chest. Relax and chill. Take a deep breath because I know.
This was the walk I had to make to school. Funny thing about this school is that there are peacocks roaming the ground of this school all the time. And in class we would hear the sound that the peacock makes. I don't really know what sound it makes, but we would see peacocks and hear peacocks jumping all over the school and everything. No, I don't really know why there were peacocks here, but it was beautiful. And
not too many schools have peacocks standing around like just chilling. Like we had a white peacock, a colorful peacock, and all that. All this is new. That playground's new. That used to be my old playground, whatever. And through there was the school, and as I said, a lot of memories. A lot of people encouraged me to kind of sing, even before rapping. They encouraged me to sing because I was so big into doing the church singing, which we got prepared for when we went to the cathedral. And so, you know, I was into that. And then I played sports. I played my sports in the basement of that church right there. Yeah, like basketball, you know, whatever sports we wanted to play. It's a nice cathedral, so a lot of memories. That building's a little dark, but that's where we had our school plays. In that building right there. I remember going to a few plays, but I left the school before I could actually be in a play. If you go around the corner, there's a sports field. There's a park back there that we went to, that the school went to practice on. And I remember one of my friends, I was running with her because I joined the cross country team, and she was getting like seriously picked on by some dudes in the park, and it was big for me because as like a small little tiny child, I stood up for her, and it was the best freaking thing ever. So I won some points there. The Hungarian pastry shop. That shop right there. Pumpkin pie every morning. Okay, this place was not Insomnia cookies. It was P&W. You could get root beer floats. You could get a bag of chips. Get all the candy you ever wanted in here. And I used to hang out here after school. Same on the end of the block. There was a Chinese restaurant. It's where my buddy introduced me to wonton soup. You know, he put in like the whole bottle of soy sauce, and that's what I do to this day. The place was called the Colombian Cottage, and that place isn't there anymore. So most of these places are shut down and changed. This place is gone. It was my favorite place. I got hella cavities from this place right here, but it wasn't this place. I don't know what Insomnia Cookies is, but no, this place was. Imagining that this was a nice little homey place with candy and shit. That's where I went after school. And that was a good hangout spot. And right here was where some dude got mugged, and I remember with my buddies and I, again, really weird for someone from our school. We saw the blood was all over right here, and the dude was lying on the ground. And I don't know, it's just really weird. But yeah.
What would I be? Just a random delivery guy? All right.
There you go. Say it.
Wait, say it again? All right. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. Support man Helfer and Shorty.
In the future when I'm trying to get
Out of here.
yeah,
See y'all later.
I'll be okay.
That's the girl right there.
Things will be okay. Be okay. Be okay. Be okay one day. When you come up one day, acting like a fool, I'll be chilling and relaxing in my crib. Bumping and grinding with my homegirl, yeah, she be down to the music, yeah, you know where I live. 'Cause
What inspires some of your music? Like, where do you take inspiration
That's a
from?
good question. What inspires my music is most of my relationships. I only write about females, girls, fake girls, real girls, all the girls, situations with girls, sad girls, sad instances, happy instances, sleeping with them, you know, all that, mostly true stories that turn into songs. It's a release for me, and that's basically what what fuels me, what also fuels most of my songs, not just what I write about for inspiration, is when, you know, someone tells you, I mean, this is true for everybody, like, when someone tells you you can't do it, or when somebody says, you know, when somebody says something about me in music, I always do it 10 times over than what, like, oh, you can't do that? Like, then I say, I do that thing 10 times over than what they said I couldn't do. And I always win in the end. It's always been a driving thing for me. It's all I've known, ever just young boy, just it's all I've wanted to be. And when you've had a passion for so long, since you were so young, it sounds cliche, but you won't let anything stop you from getting to where you eventually want to be. And I haven't let anything stop me, trust me. I'm still moving right on up, so.
Where do you get like your motivation and your drive? Has your family influenced that, or do you think it's more like on your own?
It's definitely on my own. My motivation and my drive, you know, my parents always say, we like the song, we like the video, and you know, I understand that they, you know, it's not just a parent thing. Like, I mean, they actually like the stuff, but my motivation comes from just life experiences, living my life, you know, especially with the girls I just said, and everything. The drive comes from wanting to win, and seeing that commercial on TV and wanting to be just like that. I don't really know what I'm gonna do once I become that, but you know, it's still a journey. So, you know, and I don't think anything's gonna stop me. So.
Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna buckle.
Oh, you're good. Isn't that right, T?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking off the
Oh no, it's okay. I'm just like trying to buckle up. And then
Yeah, Intrepid. I used to go there. Small kid, not that much. So she got some dope planes on it.
What do you like to do outside of like music and outside of rapping?
Outside of music, see, here's the thing. A lot of people like to do a lot of things outside from what they're passionate about, but I was so passionate growing up that especially in high school, the passion was just a dream when I was younger, and I had people motivating me. But in high school, when I was making the music, it was like I was so into wanting to like win. I wanted to win in the music game so badly that it actually broke down friendships and nothing. I didn't do anything else but just music and just marketing myself and just wanting to win. That's the reason I have what I have now. If I had spent some days, the weekdays doing this and only the weekends doing the music, no. The reason I have what I have are for two reasons. One, huge amounts of luck. Two, actually three reasons. One, huge amounts of luck. Two, I'm very fortunate. And three, I had that drive, which actually hurt my social life in high school, but I knew I was winning, so it didn't matter much to me, and I knew I was gonna be out of there soon. I just stuck to the vision, and I'm still running around. It was it was kind of tough. I mean, people, I was always known as the quiet guy. If you knew me, I'm not quiet. I mean, but that's because I broke down so many. I didn't converse with people, and in high school, and it was like, okay. What does this kid do? He says he raps. We're not even gonna bother to look him up online and see all his, all his whole discography that he just worked so hard on. And a lot of people threw shade at me just because I was a white rapper who was very fortunate, and that's not usually the rap image. But I said to myself, those are just, these are just people talking, and I stuck to it because I knew I was right and I knew I was winning, and I was obviously right. I was right. I'm always winning. you know, I might have some setbacks. Dates might get moved to a later time, but nothing stops. I'm always moving up. And the process might get slower, but I'm still moving up. You know, nobody or anything can stop me from this. Because imagine your dreams, something you've wanted to do since 4th grade, get shattered. You know, no one can stop that. It's so meaningful, and everybody who knows me knows my grind. You know, I'm running around doing filming, I'm doing music, it's crazy. So I'm always busy. I'm always doing something with music, whether it's, you know, I got the 2 albums done already, so I'm always just marketing myself or trying to think of the next move, whether it be a video or a, you know, whatever it is, whatever's the next move to keep the people, to have more content. And I have lots of content. That's something I pride myself on. Always having a social life for content. I chose to spend my alone time doing content. It's paid off. It has paid off.
Other than your social life, what else do you feel that you've sacrificed for your music career?
It's a damn good question. Let's see. I sacrificed a lot of relationships. I risked a lot of relationships. It's either the work or the relationship. You know, me and T were talking of, like, it's either the work or you know, you either chase it or you're back home with your girl, spending time with her. Both extremely important. And sometimes it's hard. You know, sometimes she doesn't understand that I gotta do this because this is my thing, and this is the only way that I'm, you know, gonna pay the bills, pay for the groceries. It's the only way. But at the same time, you know, I've definitely sacrificed lots of alone time and lots of really special events and lots of, you know, all those things that are really important to my significant other at the time, and just to do this, and always telling myself that it's going to be worth it. So far, it has been worth it, and I'm very grateful for that. So.
Back to, like, when you were talking about people in high school, like, throwing shade at you, is there, like, any particular quotes or anything they said that stands out to you or that stood out to you at the time?
No, because most of the people did it behind my back.
Okay.
No one threw shade behind me, at my face. I was a bigger guy than everybody else. I was tall. Nobody wanted to mess with me. But, you know, the people throw shade behind your back. You know how they do it. And, you know, they always bicker behind me, so I don't know. And it's always the same stuff. You know, white boy rapping, Helfer, you know, what's he doing? Like, you know, people knew I was good, but they didn't know I was serious, which was total BS, because if you had only just searched my name online, you would see I have 9 albums, 4 music videos. I was doing with the man. I'm doing something that most kids my age never get to do. So it's, you know, it only took one Google search to figure out what I was doing, and then they would have shut up, but no one wants to do that. So I just let them talk, and I let my work, you know, it's the advice I give to the younger kids. I let my work speak, and, you know, at graduation, I said, I ended my graduation speech. At my high school, the kids were allowed to speak. And I ended my graduation speech by saying, work hard in silence and let your success be your noise. And that's basically my mantra, you know?
Yeah, I really like that.
That should be everyone's mantra. And, you know, I get cocky at times, but so do we all. I'm not, but, you know, I do not flaunt anything. And I definitely work hard in silence. You know, making my music alone, work hard in silence alone, and my success is my noise. You know, people, and whenever I post videos of me up in Jungle City with my manager, it's always, they see that, but they don't want to accept it because they know I'm winning, and they know I'm just continuing to win. But that's the way it's always been. That's the way it's always going to be with those people, and I chose to separate myself from those people a long time ago because I knew they weren't worth my time. And that's the honest truth.
beautiful view.
In terms of your future, is there anything specific that you want to accomplish or that you like think you want to accomplish?
Well, when I was younger, I wanted to be like Jay-Z in that Budweiser commercial, because who doesn't? But I was, you know, I was like, I want to at least be able to pay my bills, pay for groceries, pay for my kid, pay for everything else around me. In the very least, because that's the dream.
I be grinding and swerving.